Citizens Against Trash is a committee of the community projects of Havre de Grace. Their mission is to make Havre de Grace a litter-free community and making it the ideal place to live and work. Now, how are they accomplishing that goal? We'll find out in the next 30 minutes. I'm Krisy Breslin, and this is Harford MagaScene. Is the director of the Cat Club of Havre de Grace. He is here to tell us about them, how they got started, and how they're working hard to keep Havre de Grace the beautiful city that it is. Hi, Al.
Hello, Kristy. Thanks for coming out today.
Now, Al, what is the Cat Club, and what exactly does it stand for again?
Cat Club is a group of volunteers here in Havre de Grace, and the word CAT is actually an acronym, stands for Citizens Against Trash. We are striving to be litter-free.
When did it get started, and where did the idea come from?
About 6 years ago, I was standing outside of Concord Point Coffee, where we are here today, and we were lamenting about the cigarette butts and other trash that would be laying in the street. Right. Something that was bothering me, so we decided at that moment, we made an agreement that we would meet every Saturday and keep our downtown clean. And it has grown since into a fairly successful program.
Do you think it makes a difference?
Oh, absolutely. Havre de Grace, if you come into downtown Havre de Grace on a Saturday, it's nearly pristine around here all the time now. And many, many people are noticing and also helping us. What
does this mean to Harford County? Is this just a Havre de Grace club?
It is not just in Havre de Grace. It has actually expanded. Mayor McGrady started a program called Keep Aberdeen Beautiful as a result of what we were doing here. And I'm really hoping that it takes off and other people pick up on this kind of work. I think it really means a lot for everyone on a lot of different levels.
Does the work have any other effects on the citizens?
I think citizens take pride in their community. I think they start to realize that when we take notice about litter, that it leads us to other good things like treating each other with civility, caring for each other. And other things happen, like maybe the property values are maintained. I think that benefits everybody if tax collections are maintained, that kind of thing. I think that really is a benefit for everyone.
Al, what is your biggest hope for the program moving forward?
My biggest hope for the program is that all people, not just in Havre de Grace, but all over the world really, start to take notice about the things they use and what happens to them when they're done with them. Primarily it is litter, and if we don't watch where it ends up, it usually goes into the environment and has really, really negative results that affect all of us.
Now, how did the documentary Pick It Up come to be?
So we've been very fortunate because our program has been successful. We were receiving some grant money from Maryland Environmental Trust, and we formed a committee and decided, how would you like to spend this money? A part of it went to providing supplies like our buckets and grabbers, or signage and shirts that keep us safe while we're walking out on the streets. But we took a piece of it and we applied it towards making a short film. We were very fortunate. We got a local production company, and they really put together a brilliant film, I think, that includes some local celebrities, some local officials, but also like a movie star and a recent Harriet Tubman Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Cammy Murphy, she's in it, and it's really a great little piece. So we took some of that money and applied it towards that. The purpose of it was so that we could give presentations to youth groups or other civic organizations and encourage them to participate in this work.
Now, I know that you said you've had a lot of partners. Tell us about some of your strongest community partners.
That's a great question. One of the reasons we've been so successful is because we are a part of Community Projects of Havre de Grace Incorporated. That is a local nonprofit 501c3 that administers the work of several volunteer groups. We're being one of them, and it allows us to take a donation and to buy supplies legitimately, and it's really been one of the keys to our success.
Al, thank you so much for inviting us here, and thank you for what you're doing to make historic Havre de Grace the beautiful place that it is.
We appreciate you coming out and spending time with us. I hope it encourages others to participate in our work.
I think it absolutely will. And coming up next, we're going to speak to a former principal and hear about the impact the Cat Club has had on his students.
I'm Andre Brower, and I'm here at the Cultural Arts Center at the Opera House in Havre de Grace. As an actor, I've played many different roles, but as a citizen, I'd like to join together with others to help take care of our communities. Litter is one of the first visible signs that pulls apart the fabric of our community. What can you do? You can begin by taking care of your neighborhood in picking up trash. And when you join together with other people in this, you form a group with a common purpose to make our neighborhoods, community, and nation a better place to live. Groups are forming all over the country. Some are called Citizens Against Trash, or cat clubs. Think about forming one. It doesn't cost anything. Just invite a few friends, pick a time and place to meet, find a 5-gallon bucket like a cat litter container, and a grabber. Voila! You're ready to go and make a difference.
Jim Dryden is a former school principal at Churchville Elementary and Youth Benefit Elementary, and he is here to tell us about why he got involved in the Cat Club and how he thinks it might impact some of his former students. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Krisy.
Jim, how much time each week do you dedicate to your Cat Club duties?
It varies. It started out, as Al told you earlier, with going to a Saturday morning thing, but somehow we got a little crazy and I've gone to several days a week. I'll say 10 hours to 12 hours a week, perhaps.
Hey, it's a great thing to do.
It is, and it's something that I enjoy doing, obviously, or we wouldn't be doing it. And I think all the guys we work with take a great deal of pride in what we've accomplished. And the kind of feedback we get from the citizens. The other day I was throwing some stuff in the garbage and the man said, "Are you sure you're able to do that? Are you allowed to do that?" And I said, "Well, I kind of work with the city and we're part of the Cat Club." And he saw my hat and he says, "Oh, the Cat Club, here, let me give you a hand." And so he joined right in and helped me discard some of the trash that I'd picked up that day.
What areas of Havre de Grace tend to get the most attention?
Well, I've found there's a couple of real trouble spots. There's a Legion Avenue and a Seneca Avenue by the dollar store and Adams Street by City Hall. There are little spots that tend, for some reason, either by weather or by people's practices, have a lot of trash accumulates.
Yeah.
And so once a week I'll try to stop by each of those places. And Old Bay Lane also collects a lot of trash along that roadway as well. And so I have my pickup truck, and so I go around to those places and try to keep those clean.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you noticed a difference in the cleanliness of Havre de
Oh my
Grace?
goodness, absolutely. And just this past weekend, after First Friday, which typically are hundreds of people downtown.
Oh, yes.
And typically on a Saturday following an event like that, you will find trash everywhere. And this Saturday, I walked down the street and it was clean as it could be. So I believe the citizens have seen us out doing what we do and have kind of taken it upon themselves to also contribute to keeping our city clean.
How do you think Cat Club could actually improve their service to Havre de Grace?
Well, obviously, numbers, the people, and one of the things that I've found most rewarding is I'll come on a Saturday and I'll see families, a mother and father and 2 young children pulling a wagon and picking up trash and so on, so more families that become involved. And I think one of the major successes that we have had is having adopt-a-block groups. Not just the people who come out on Saturday afternoons or even during the week picking up, but who have adopted their block where they live and on a regular basis go around it. And I think that contributes to the overall beautification of our city as well.
How did you first find out about them? How did you first get involved?
Well, I guess I'm in the Lions Club of Havre de Grace, and I set up the programs and stuff. And I knew about Al and his cat club, and so I invited him to speak to our group. And as I listened to him, I thought, that's a great idea. And next thing you know, next Saturday, I was down here with him and started picking up and met some awfully nice people and enjoyed myself. And it kind of just spurred from there on.
Now, as a former principal, what kind of impact do you think it would have on the students today?
I think extremely positive, and I think I'm going to be making, as a former principal, I'm going to be making some appointments with the principals of the city and around the city with the idea of us sharing our club's efforts, the CAT Club, with young students. And we already have met with, at Havre de Grace Elementary and Meadowvale, the student body, and shown them the program, and they went out themselves and started picking up trash around their area. So they're already involved, and it's something that appeals to a young person, I think. You know, the idea of having living in a clean place and making it a better place.
Jim, thank you again so much. And you know, when I go through Havre de Grace, I always think it's beautiful. So the job that you're doing is certainly having an impact.
Well, thank you.
Now, the Cat Club would not be possible without all of its hard-working volunteers. Why do they donate so much of their time? We'll find out next. John Zimmerman is an environmentalist, and he is also a very dedicated Cat Club volunteer. Hi, John.
Hi.
John, how long have you been working with the Cat Club, spending your time out there picking up litter to help our community?
I'm not exactly sure. I've been picking up litter for about 15 years.
That's quite a long time.
Yeah.
Now, why do you do it?
I do it because I don't like to see trash on the ground.
How often are you out there? How often can we see you out there picking up litter on any given day?
Every day.
Do you think it makes a difference?
I know it makes a difference. So I walk the same route every day, and there's essentially no litter. I mean, there's almost nothing to pick up because I do it every day, and it just makes it helps people to not litter.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it changes people's behavior just by picking up litter consistently. Place stays clean.
Ever find anything interesting while you're out there collecting trash?
Occasionally you'll find something that helps people because you'll find their wallet that they've lost, and you can return it to them. You'll find the, little things you know, that might have been lost sometimes, you know. But for the most part, and money, you know, you'll if you pick up litter consistently, you will find money. You know, occasionally a $20 bill.
Oh, wow, that's a good bonus. Yeah. What would you say to our community to stress the importance of keeping it clean?
Well, I think that if your town is clean and beautiful, that your property values are going to be higher. But aside from that, your quality of life is so much better. And but beyond that, I'm really an environmentalist, and all of these plastic items which are so casually discarded, you'll find ballpoint pens, Bic lighters, soda straws, bottle caps. Cigarette butts are made of plastic, cellulose acetate. It's not biodegradable. All of these things are breaking down. Everything's headed toward the river. And so consequently, you know, it's an environmental problem. And by picking it up, I feel like I'm making some contribution toward the health of the planet.
Now, as an environmentalist, tell me, it's also pretty dangerous to animals, isn't it?
Absolutely. For instance, one of the areas that I pick up every day is Hutchins Park. There's a free fishing area there, very popular. And I pick up quite a bit of monofilament fishing line, which birds can get caught in. And you know, so yes, definitely. It's dangerous for the animals, and also cigarette butts. Frequently people will discard a cigarette that's still lit. Years ago, a bird picked one up in Baltimore, carried it up to the bell tower of a historic church, and the church burnt down.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that's true. And occasionally you'll see mulch on fire where somebody's discarded a cigarette butt and you know, the mulch is burning. Or, you know, it causes fires. I've seen a car burn up because of it.
It sounds like you work with a really good group of people, and you've made a lot of friendships along the way.
Oh yes, yes. You know, it has helped me to be, socially. You know, yes, definitely.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And what would you say to someone to encourage them to volunteer with Cat Club? Why should they do it?
Well, it's fun. I really enjoy it, and the reason I do it every day is it's my form of me time. It's a very meditative activity. It takes your mind off your problems, and just very stress relieving. I just really enjoy it, and I would say that anybody that tries it might find it addictive.
John, is this something that people of all ages can enjoy? Everybody in the community, can they all participate?
Absolutely. We've had the elementary school, all those kids have gone out and they really enjoy it. So yes, families bring their children, and everybody loves doing it.
Okay, well, coming up next, we're going to speak to a student from Havre de Grace High School to find out why he donates his time. And as John said, it's for a great cause and it can be a stress reliever. Stay with us. Luke Hahn is a student from Havre de Grace High School, and he is a Cat Club volunteer. He's been doing it for a little bit, and he's going to tell us about his experience and why he likes it so much. Hi, Luke.
Hi.
Luke, when did you first start working with the club?
Well, I actually am a part of NHS, and I needed to get some service hours in for the rest of the month, and I was kind of slacking on it, and I needed to get more service hours, and I looked into a lot of other places, obviously, and I needed to just find an easy, casual place I can go to. A lot of the places I looked into, they had a lot of contracts and a lot of documents I had to sign, and it would have taken a lot of time to get that approved, and I needed to get something quick and easy and casual and fun at the same time. So obviously I had this problem, and I didn't know where to go. But one day my mom actually went down to Concord Point, and she met Mr. Al there, and when they talked about all the stuff that he does for Cat Club, and my mom actually mentioned it to me when she got home, and she got me involved in Cat Club.
Now, NHS, is that National Honor Society?
Yes, it's National Honor Society.
Okay. What impact do you think the Cat Club has on the positive image of Havre de Grace?
I think it has a huge impact on Havre de Grace, but sometimes it can go unrecognized, because obviously we're growing as a group, and and the more volunteers we get here, the better. And it's a great organization. It's really positive, and as Havre de Grace, as it gets cleaner every day we go out, I'm just happy that.
What would you say is your favorite thing about volunteering? What do you enjoy doing the most?
The best part about volunteering, especially here for Cat Club, is I like how it kind of releases that stress. It's very therapeutic to come here. I really like to just come here and relax, enjoy talking to people who volunteer here, and it's just so much fun sometimes just to talk to old friends and make new ones.
What kind of time needs to be dedicated to becoming involved in this group?
I dedicate like every other weekend almost. Like right now I haven't been volunteering as much because I had rugby practice, I've had wrestling practice. I haven't had the time, but once summer comes back, I'm definitely going to be coming back here and volunteering more. I really do enjoy it.
So not only do you enjoy it, but it's actually very good for you when colleges are looking at you as well, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
It's amazing.
Now that you're graduating, what are your plans for the future?
After graduating from Havre de Grace, I'm actually going to go to York College of Pennsylvania, and I had an early acceptance there, and I'm actually going in for nursing. I'm really happy and excited for that, and I just can't wait.
Luke, best of luck in your future, and thanks for helping out with keeping our city the beautiful place that it is.
Thank you for having me.
Well, coming up next, we're going to hear from more people that are involved in the club. How did they do it? Why did they do it? And what plans are there for the future? Robert Green is a resident of Havre de Grace. He is a Cat Club ambassador and a purveyor of civility. Hi, Robert.
Hello.
Robert, explain the title, Purveyor of Civility.
It means that I try to behave with civility. I try to spread it around. I met PM Forney, recently deceased, about 10 years ago. He was doing the on the radio, WYPR, about civility. And I was finishing up a leadership development program at Johns Hopkins, graduate program for minority managers. And I decided that leadership should have an element of civility at all times in it. And I'm working on a project now. I don't have it all set up yet, but I intend to have Baltimore change its brand from Charm City to Civility City.
Do you think that litter is an act of incivility?
Absolutely, it is indeed.
Why is respect for the environment and all its inhabitants so important?
Because I'm one of them. And we are at the top of the food chain, and we need to take responsibility for how we treat the earth. And we are stepping up to do that through the Cat Club.
Are we being good stewards of the world when we litter, or we continually walk by litter without picking it up?
No, we're not. I would like to see people not to throw it down in the first place. Sure, I want you to pick it up, but I don't want you to put it down in the first place.
Now tell us about this book behind us.
Well, I met Dr. Forney about 10 years ago, and as I say, he was doing these segments on WYPR about civility, and I was completing a program in leadership at Johns Hopkins for minority managers at that time, and I decided that civility should be an important component of leadership, effective leadership.
How do you think that we can improve civility?
I hope to change people's behavior. By keeping an environment clean, people change their behavior. It's been proven that happens. It actually happens.
What would you like to say to the residents out there? What would you like them to know about the ethics and the civility being involved in this organization?
Come join us. It's fun to do. I've heard other people talk about what a stress reliever it is, and it's true. I have stress like everyone else does, and it helps me to relax, and I feel good about myself and my town when I help to keep it clean. I guess I devote about 10 hours a week to the Cat Club.
But not only are you devoting your time, but you're enjoying it too, right?
I am enjoying it. I like the fact that people see me and they come up to me and they thank me for what I'm doing. I have a big white bucket that's got the Cat Club logo all over it, and my grabber. And sometimes the grabber can act as a cane, 'cause I'm not always too steady on my feet. I have some balance issues, and the grabber can act as a cane. So we had those strong winds recently.
Oh, yes.
And if they catch me by surprise, I can fall over. But the grabber helps me to be stabilized on my feet.
Robert, look forward to seeing you out there, and I know that you're doing the best job that you can to improve the thought that people have about keeping Havre de Grace clean, and all you're doing to keep it clean yourself.
Well, you're welcome, and I don't think you've seen the best out of me yet.
Well, we look forward to seeing more. Now, coming up next, we're going to hear more about the Pick It Up documentary, and hopefully it'll inspire you to do your part in keeping Havre de Grace the historic, beautiful town that it is.
Right now, you are faced with the greatest challenge of all time. Trash is building up faster than ever, and something has to be done about it before it's too late. This is your chance to save the world. So, become a hero by keeping the earth clean. Only you can make our planet the paradise it once was.
George Hipkins is the assistant director behind the documentary Pick It Up and also the creative force behind it as well. He's here to tell us about the film and why he decided to get involved, what it entails, and what we can do to make a difference. Hi, George.
Thank you for having me.
George, how were you involved in the making of this documentary?
Well, I mainly do music, so we did 2 songs which are in the beginning and the end of the film, which we worked with several different people to come up with the lyrics for. And basically the idea was to make the film more upbeat, and we wanted people to be engaged with the film, and that includes young people and older adults and pretty much anyone who wants to see it. So we wanted to use music to make the film more interesting.
When you were filming, what would you say were your biggest challenges?
Well, apart from the hundreds of hours of work and I think we had like 2 terabytes of footage shot for this film, even though it's only 10 minutes. I'd say the biggest challenge would be, after we shot all this footage and we're looking at it, we wanted to reframe the trash problem in a different way than most documentaries have. So most documentaries will just show the trash problem and say there's wildlife that are affected, and it's kind of like a doom and gloom kind of scenario. But we wanted it to be uplifting and motivational. So this film attempts to actually get people motivated to go out and pick up trash. And I think that was our biggest challenge.
Run me through the film from start to finish.
Well, we got the opportunity to do several interviews with some relatively famous people. We've got Andre Braugher. We got some pretty cool people involved in this film, and we would go out and shoot like a couple of days out of every so often. And we didn't really have scripts, so we had to just sort of deal with massive quantities of footage and just framing it. But for the end credits and for several different scenes in the film, we wanted to do something special to actually resonate with people. So we did a music video for the very end, last 3 minutes or so, and I'm unfortunately singing in that one. So
I'm sure it's great.
Sure. Well, yeah.
What do you hope people will learn after spending time watching this video? What are you hoping they'll take away from it?
Well, I think a lot of people will look at this trash problem as like this really huge issue, and it just seems so much bigger than we are. And it might seem at first that it's really difficult to make a difference, but we're hoping that by watching this film, people will think that when you're walking down the street and you just see a piece of trash, if you just pick it up, that is making a difference. And we hope that those differences will repercuss, and ultimately we want to make communities just a better place to live.
George, where can we see the entire video?
Well, you can find it on Facebook. If you go to the Cat Club of Havre de Grace, you can watch the film in its entirety, or you can request a personal presentation of the film by Al Petroff himself.
Okay, sounds good, George. Now, as you've seen today, the Cat Club is making huge strides in making our community litter-free. And as George had mentioned, you can actually contact Al through the Cat Club of Havre de Grace on Facebook and request a presentation to learn more about who they are and what they do. I'm Krisy Breslin. See you next month on Harford MagaScene.